Hi guys. You know, this this year has been phenomenal. A couple of things here before I share how to make your daydream a reality. Yeah, so just a few people who've been really blessed me. The first one is Dave Orledge. Now, I've been a speaker and an educator for a global organization for over 2 decades, actually. And in fact, I've been their number one educator for several years out of a force of 500 plus educators at the time. And I would not have been able to get to that stage if it hadn't been for a gentleman named Dave Orledge, who is just an amazing professional person. He recently retired from the company Learning Tree International. And Learning Tree International, they are one company apart from Microsoft and Hewlett Packard and IBM who used to send me all around the world. So Learning Tree has sent me to the Middle East, to, I believe, Asia, all over Europe, and to work with very high-level clients such as Fortune 500, Fortune 100 clients. So I've been very blessed by that. And I think Vicky Thomas recently posted about, let me just read it. Somebody once said, keep your friends close, but keep your enemies closer. Should you keep saboteurs closer or block them from your life? Now, wherever I've grown and been a number one person, I've had these people who get jealous of me and who behind my back engage in sabotaging, if you like, kind of behavior. And there's a story I tell about one of several of the instructors who are no longer there, because Dave was a very astute man, and he actually would look at your soul. He would not just look at you and the words that came out of your mouth, but constantly looking at your actions. And I think this is one of the most important things. It was Keely, who works very closely with me, who said to Ben, the one thing that has helped me in my life that you taught me was not to listen to the words that come out of people's mouths, but to constantly watch their actions before making a decision to engage with them, to do business with them. And she's just a phenomenal woman. You will hear more about her in the next year, I'm sure. And currently she and I help with a property meetup once a month in Richmond. So Dave would look at our behavior before he made assessments. So when rumors were spread about other people who'd reached a certain level, he would be thinking, those rumors don't work with the actions of that person. And more than that, he would check it out. He would come and have a friendly chat. I'm concerned. He wouldn't say, somebody has said this. He would say, I'm concerned. Yes, and talk as if he was thinking and saying it, which is very different. I remember working in a church, and one of the people would say, Ben, many people are saying this about you. And I used to have this kind of ability to react to things rather than to think about it and then proactively be active in engaging, whereas Dave wouldn't react. He would just listen and then think about it. So over time I realized there wasn't many people. And I would say, many people? What do you mean by people or many people? Well, people. Well, what people? How many? Was it 5? Was it 10? Was it 3? Well, maybe 10. Was it more than 10? Less than 10? So was it less than 5? And usually it was that person who had the issue with perhaps myself or my behavior, or they were just jealous and they were trying to do whatever it was. So recently I had a letter from the people who manage our estate, and the letter states, Ben, people have seen you on television, and congratulations for being on the BBC, but they are concerned that you are doing this with your property. Now I'm thinking, I know the few people who've written to the estate to say that I'm doing this with my property, and it's because I know their behaviour. I'm not going to push the letter, in fact I'm not going to reply at all, but it's quite interesting how we view the world, and in fact, if anything, I'm just trying to think, and the next person I do want to mention is a chap called Anders Eklund, who I've been very privileged to coach and mentor, and in fact he's a friend today, who once reacted to a situation, and I said to him, look, with every challenge, every situation you have in your life that is potentially negative, there is an equal or greater opportunity than the negative situation. It's embedded in that situation. And anyway, so he wanted me to have a chat with some other people. I said, I'm not going to chat with anybody. I want you to understand this concept and tell me what positive outcome you want from that negative situation. Anyway, that negative situation turned out to be one of the best things that ever happened to him. So Anders, if you're listening or watching this video, please, if you want, you don't have to, but comment below and share what that situation was. That was that, and I'm thinking, because I brought the letter about this person who's trying to sabotage me in the estate, and I showed it to the people who live in the house with me, and they said, well, we could do this and this, and one of them is in cybersecurity, because I've been in cybersecurity and they're my friends, and he said, well, you know, here's all the information I have on this person, what would you like to do with it? And my thought is, look, these guys, they're negative people. I don't particularly wish to engage with them, but how can I turn the, if you like, the shit into fertilizer? And that, if you are a creative entrepreneur, is one of the thought processes you always have to have in your head. Instead of reacting, and this is what Dave Orledge used to teach me about, how can I not react, but think about it and change that bad stuff into something that will help you and the people around you to grow. So I hope you get that concept. And so I was particularly interested in Vicky Thomas's post about, should we keep saboteurs close to us? What should we do with them? So the first thing I'm constantly thinking is, how do I turn it into a situation that benefits everybody, including the saboteurs? I remember when I was on the television show and it was broadcast, that I suddenly got a whole bunch of haters on a Facebook group. Yes, and they were saying, oh, Ben's listening. And he says, so I joined in the conversation with the Facebook group. In fact, I said, hi guys, I hear you're all talking about me. What is it you would like to know? Now, all of them today are my Facebook friends. So that was quite an interesting, if you like, situation to turn it around. And in fact, a few of them have asked me to mentor and coach them. It's very interesting what happens when you approach people directly and they get to actually understand and meet who you are. So that's one situation. Now, that doesn't mean I've never blocked people. So there is a situation where a lady, a very lovely lady, who wanted a celebrity's phone number from me because somebody had said that blah, 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 and I'm like a third party. I wasn't involved in the whole situation. I was actually very busy. I had a back problem, as some of you knew at the time, didn't respond, and suddenly I got all this negativity about how everybody was trying to do things behind her back, and and like it's really snaky, I think was one of the words she used, and I was thinking, anyway, I just blocked her. Still see her at events, you know, don't really say much apart from hi, how are you? Doesn't really respond. That's but you know, that is a person I blocked, and you really have to think about the situation and context. Recently, a very close person said to me, "You are a effing idiot." Now, I was very upset by that comment because I feel that close person should know better. Yes, and our words create our realities, and so I'm going to come on to what really the focus of this talk is. Our words create our reality, and when you say those words to somebody, they create. You are literally one showing who you are. I remember one of my coaches and mentors, a guy called Wayne Dyer, used to talk about when you squeeze an orange, what do you get out of it? And people would think, what's he trying to say? Are you trying to say something else? Or if you squeeze a lemon, what do you get out of it? And really all he wanted people to say was orange juice or lemon juice or lemonade if you're going to turn sour into something nice. Yes. So when you are able to think that and understand that what is inside you, when you are squeezed and pressurized, that is what will come out. So if when somebody is behaving and putting a lot of pressure on you, you react badly, that is probably what's going on inside of you. Either that or you haven't had enough to eat for the day. So that is something you need to deal with. Somehow create more love. Really the cornerstone is gratitude to all the positivity and love. Now, I wasn't upset by what they said to me. I was upset by what was coming out of their heart. I don't think they really understand that when you're under pressure and crap comes out of you, that's probably what is going on somewhere in the background of your life. That's why sometimes people call me the Doctor Who of business, because I'll go back in time to their past and try and fix those things that happened way back there. So, if your father really did something horrible to you and you've never got over that, I would, for example, just say, look, just pretend I'm your father. Just pretend that I did this horrible, horrible thing to you, and let's have the conversation. And I would say, son, daughter, I am so, so sorry. I didn't mean to impact you like that. I didn't know any better at the time. This is what I was going through. I should never have said that to you. Will you accept my apology? And the number of people that start crying is just amazing. Right? So this is a very, very important concept. Now, so I'm talking about Dave Orledge, who just is an amazing man. I've written a little article on LinkedIn about him. Some of the lessons that I learned, which helped really raise my game to a celebrity level game, if you like, which has allowed thousands and thousands of people to connect and attract to me just by me watching Dave. He never really said anything to me, just by watching him in action. So I learned from that. So the third person I really, really want to appreciate and send some appreciation to is a South African lady. Her name is Jeannie Stone. Well, that's her Facebook name. Her real name is Joanna. I keep saying, why do you do that? It confuses me. Joanna, you'll see, reposts, reshares some of my posts, and that's not really why I'm appreciating her so much, but just her insight and the if you like, the comments on not just my posts but on everybody else's posts. And she made a post about saboteurs and negative people in your life. So some of them you can't block. They could be your close family. You may decide not to engage in a conversation with them, but it's more difficult to block them. And Jeannie, she's got this concept that you move away, and I'm very similar to this. You move away from people who bring you down, and in fact, there's a lot of people that I just ignore. They're only interested, perhaps out of jealousy, perhaps because they had a bad life, perhaps because they're going through some kind of bad situation. We don't know. My uncle used to teach me this, Ben. We don't know their background, so we don't know why they're speaking with you like that. And if there's one thing I know, is misery loves company. And there you are, you're this positive, bouncy person, and here's someone going through shit, and that's why they may be negative to you, not because they're jealous, just because they want somebody to just wallow for a little bit with before they get themselves out of their rut. Anyway, Jeannie just has a beautiful way of expressing herself and her comments. I've also seen her publicly speaking. I don't think I can do what she does. She's a very American style. Okay, everybody, get up and just say, I'm going to do this, this. It's very, not really, I don't know about style. Maybe one day I'll be able to do that. So Dave Orledge, Jeannie Stone, Anders Eklund, thank you all for your various comments and inputs into my life. Now, just to finish off, I promised that I would share one important concept which I'll be speaking at tomorrow. Or is it today? It's today in Cardiff in Wales. In fact, I will be sharing with them 10 things that I have done to help myself double my income every year. And I used to teach this to people as well. So I remember one particular lady, I think she was in administration, fantastic lady. And I said to her, you know, after the conversation, I could double your income every year for the next 3 or 4 years. And for whatever reason, she believed in me. She was offered a higher paid job. I said, don't take that job. Anyway, today, at that time, I doubled her income every year. I'm not doing anything special. I don't tell people they need to spend thousands and thousands of pounds to engage with some very simple things. Now, one of the things which I will not be sharing tomorrow is, if you want to make your reality or turn your daydream into a reality, remember you're hearing this from the UK's top rapper, if you want to really make a daydream a reality, one of the things you must do is just go to sleep. I know it sounds weird. Go to sleep, but tell your subconscious what it is that you actually want, and let that go and create the answer for you. Let me give you an example of this. I didn't have a particularly great childhood, and one of the sticking points of myself is my lack of confidence and my lack of belief in anything. However, I learned from the Earl Nightingale something very important, or maybe it was Wayne Dyer, that I need to engage with my subconscious. So I had an intention to be a millionaire within, let me think, within 12 years. But by 35, I wanted to be a millionaire by. And so I needed to engage, I needed to behave like a millionaire. Hey, but I didn't have the money, I had nothing. I was sleeping on a friend's floor with 8 other people. So I needed to think, how can I be a millionaire? Now, that was something I asked my subconscious to help me with. And over that period of time, my personality evolved to be and act and be like a millionaire and behave like a millionaire. You can behave like anybody you like without money. Very important concept. So if you look at millionaires and very wealthy people, in fact even billionaires, very few of them buy these super mega expensive cars unless that's a hobby of theirs, or if they've inherited their wealth. There's a huge difference between people who've worked for their wealth and people who've inherited it or won it on the lottery. So you will find that they tend to buy, say, a normal a car that will keep its value. It's a very simple thing that they will do in their lives. And so over time, my personality became that personality that was a millionaire. And it was just inevitable. There's other things that happened, like my subconscious created not one, not two, but probably 10 ways to become a millionaire, which I engaged in all of them. Some of them I was not very good at, so I had to ditch them. And others I was very good at. So, and it was just impossible for that not to happen. The same thing happened when I wanted to be a stage speaker and a trainer. So I remember clearly an incident. Now, many of you think that I'm a pretty young guy. And as a 21-year-old, 22-year-old, I literally looked like I was 12 or 13. How many corporates would want a 12 or 13-year-old looking guy to be on their stages speaking to hundreds of thousands of people? Today is a different world, but then it was, he's a little boy. So we didn't want to do that. Anyway, I'd set that intention, that goal to be a trainer, an educator, a stage speaker. And I spent a lot of time learning my craft in a whole bunch of subjects. Like in those days, word processors made you a lot of money. Like £1,000 for a piece of software, which was actually word processing. And I learned I was up till 3, 4, 5 in the morning learning all the software packages that the company had. And so and I'm smiling because some people have been telling me you still look like a 12 or 13-year-old. So I learned those packages, and one of the things I will be sharing at the event tomorrow is know your craft. And when you know your craft will meet opportunity. So here was the opportunity. The top educator and trainer in the company got ill. Yes, they got ill. And I said, oh, I know the software. Please let me do that. They said, you have no experience and you look like a kid. We don't want you to do that. Yes, but you have... No, we're going to phone around and get a contract educator to come in and fulfill the client's needs and requirements. Okay, well, that was that. Anyway, they phoned around and they couldn't get anybody for those dates. And the client threatened to sue them because they had flown people from all around the world to be at that event. So they had no choice. This is where that opportunity, this is where the universe conspires to help you reach that daydream that you have now made an intention. And I've done the work. I've learned about... Anyway, they said, okay, you're up. And of course, I didn't sleep for 2 or 3 days. And in fact, Dave Orledge, the guy I initially mentioned, he also gave me an opportunity. It was all unofficial. He said, Ben, I probably won't mention it if it's ever talked about, but this is unofficial. You've got the green light. So he saw something in me. Isn't that great when people see things in you? They see greatness in you that you may not even see yourself. Somebody, in fact, recently I had a chat with her. I don't know whether she likes being mentioned or not, so I won't mention it. But she said, Ben, I don't know why you are messing with these people. I said, what people? They said, well, a lot of people... They are still where they are today. They don't evolve their mindset. You are so much higher. I don't understand. You are like one of these prodigies who's stuck. It's like really, I'm sorry. But that was a very interesting perspective that she had on me. So isn't that great when you have people who actually see that greatness in you? And Dave Orledge, Jeannie Stone, I think is one of them, Anders Eklund, they see that greatness within people, and they will make comments. I see that greatness in you as well, and some of you have had it from me. Some of you had me say, well, I think you're doing something shit. I don't know why you're doing it. It doesn't work, and you are a better person than that. So these guys will push you on. But I became that millionaire. I had that opportunity because that person couldn't. He was ill. They couldn't get a contractor. Anyway, I went and delivered the course. And I was up to 3 days. I didn't get any sleep. Delivered the course. The company sent a letter back to my employers at the time and said, we loved Ben Chai, and we do not want you to send any other trainer to our company to educate our people. We don't care if he looks like a little kid. We do not want anybody else here. So there's a lot of, if you like, points, learning points that I've shared in this broadcast. I want to give 50 broadcasts, and then I hold myself in. I don't give it. When you want to have the success that you believe that you deserve, learn your craft. Learn it so well that when opportunity comes, you cannot help but be successful. It's impossible for you not to be successful. 2, turn your daydream into a reality by first of all telling your subconscious, dream about it, think about it, write about it, Google about it. I want to be in films. I've started liking, if you like, film actors' posts in Twitter. I've started adding them. Over the last year and a half, I've been slowly adding people who are in film and producers to my Facebook, if you like, contacts. I have a set of Facebook. I categorize everybody. That's why I have over 250 people currently waiting for me to add them to. They've sent me friend requests, but I really do a lot of research on them before I add them. And then I categorize them. Country, what it is their entrepreneur or job is in. So I've been building that. I'm still trying to get my heart to think, you, Ben, are an A-lister, you are a celebrity. I actually went and Googled what celebrities and A-listers, how they behave and do. And actually, I never understood it, but I am that celebrity. I am that A-lister according to many of the posts. So that was a, you know, like a wake-up call for me. I need to feel it in my heart. This is something that you need to do. Keep asking your subconscious and then just sleep on it. Don't stress over it. Yes, stay calm. It will happen. Now, it may not happen tomorrow, next week, next month. You know, my intention was to be that, if you like, millionaire by the age of 35. I can actually do it much faster these days because of my experience. And your experience will also build up to be able to deploy and do many, many things as your contacts grow, as the people you, if you like, work with grow. So the one thing, if you can think of, is set that intention, that daydream that you have, turn that into reality by first of all engaging with your subconscious. Now, please Google it. Because there is a difference between your conscious, that's your wake up, being unconscious, knocked out, and your subconscious. And your subconscious does all that work.